Hi everybody, it's Lace, and today we're going to talk about signs. I really love the new signs that are in the game because in times past, maybe to make a path, we would just throw wooden pavers on the board throughout a POT to lead to a particular lot where maybe an event was being held. People would use lights and stuff, but you have a very limited number of lights you can place on, POTs, so it made it hard to clearly define a path. The wooden pavers, that kind of works, leading a path and, directing somebody. But now we've got signs. Now I've just made a couple real quick just to start us out. And the ground sign, this is what I'm talking about. So now in my POT, if you're coming up from the water or whatever, here's a sign that could, depending on the symbol. The other cool thing is it just says tavern sign, right? But if I double click it, I can say head north to the putt-putt golf course and hit save and close that out. And when I mouse over it and somebody's coming, they can read the sign. So head north to the putt-putt golf course, Now it's got a brewery symbol on it, and there are tons of symbols that you can get. I think we can find them all on the crafting merchant here in a POT. Of course, they'll be in the cities too, but if I type symbol, look at all these different symbols. So I can make all these different signs. Now, because how crafting works, it's a different recipe using each different symbol, but the base mats are pretty simple. It's 10 boards, 2 creosote, and then the symbol that you want to make. So until you've filled your recipe book up with, I don't know how many there are, I'm gonna guess 30, 40, something like that, until you'd have to, drag the 10 boards in there, the 2 creosote, and the symbol. But the cool thing is you get 3 different ones back. So if I look at my inventory again, and our sign's on the road, but we had 3. So we saw the ground sign. You have a hanging sign. So if I run over here to this lot, hanging sign's going to work like this. It's going to attach to the frame. It may not attach on this pavilion. It'd be more for a house or something. I'm not finding a sweet spot here, but there probably is a sweet spot on here. I'm just not quite sure where it's at. But anyway, you can see how a hanging sign would go off of a building. Like if I owned this one over here, would hang off that. I don't own those, so we can't really show it. And then you've got your basic wall sign. People that are like maybe having large properties and they're going to rent out rooms or something, they could put a hanging wall sign. They could double click it and they could say so-and-so's room or whatever, whatever they wanted to say. And they can identify areas of their property, maybe, like I said, if they're renting rooms or stuff. One thing to mention here, and this was brought up in the last hospitalers meeting, when you put that text on there, you can see it, but somebody may not see it until they reload the scene. But you can put it in your backpack and then replace it, and they should be able to see it immediately. Obviously, if they haven't been in the scene, when it'll load in if you've already made that distinction. But if they were in the scene with you and couldn't read it, just drag it to your backpack and drag it back, and then that way it'll reapply to them so that they can actually see the sign or see the words that you've put attached to the sign. It should go without saying that people are going to put nasty things up there, or maybe so-and-so's gold selling service, or things like that. That'll have to be reported, and unfortunately probably cause customer service issues. Maybe eventually they'll build a filter into the text that you can put in there. That may limit some legitimate things like, we're in my POT, if I have a website, well then I'd want to direct people to that website. So we'll have to see how that plays out as we get to launch. We're coming up on final wipe. We'll see an influx of players, and we'll kind of just have to see how abused these are. But I'm really excited about signs. I even talked about this on the Dev Plus pages probably 6-8 months ago, and just showed some of the code on how to do this or something. And I don't know if they got it from my idea, but I'm just so happy it's in, because it was one of the things I really wanted. So that's why I'm so excited about signs. Taking signs one step further, now what I'd love to have is a picture frame where I could put a JPEG or something in there and have that display. That was the other part of my idea. We've got this beautiful Shooter Jennings thing, but being able to have a frame and then put your own picture in there, it could be like a guild picture or something. That's just on my wish list of things. We'll see. We got the signs, and I love the signs. Let's go over and make a sign. So I've bought a few symbols ahead of time. I'm just going to go to the bench and I'm going to just show you. It's super simple. Again, you have to have the recipe for everything. Pardon me. I'm just going to hit sign. And I've only made a tavern sign. But I know it's 10 boards. And it's creosote. Where's my creosote? Oh, 10 boards. It's two of those. That's grayed out. That might be a bug we need to get fixed because it really shouldn't be grayed out. I should be able to use that on the table. And of course I'm going to need a symbol. Toss that in there. And I'm going to hit craft. So 10 boards is a lot, but you get 3 signs, one of each. So people are probably going to end up with a lot of extras that they'll sell, because maybe they only want the kind that stands up like this Hospitaller sign. Maybe they only want to use those, but they just got one of each. So before you go making 3 of each, you might find some good deals on people's vendors and stuff. The other thing to mention is we've seen how the wood signs look. They're pretty basic, but I think they're very functional, and I think they're awesome. You can also buy some in the add-on store that are going to have a little bit different texture and stuff, but those are going to cost real world money. I'll show those real quick here. So here they are. You see that you get 3 standing, 3 wall, and then or 3 wall and then 3 mounted ones. You can see they've got the steel, a little bit fancier, more of like a mahogany kind of wood color to it than the plain wood ones we get. You get 3 of each when you buy them, but you have to buy them by the type. So armor, you'd get 9 armor, or you'd get 9 beer mug ones, you'd get 9 agriculture ones. It's $15 right now. That's off the regular price, but anyway, I just wanted to show them. You'd end up with a lot of extra signs, so people may want to go in cahoots with each other as I'll buy the, or I don't know, something like that might be a good option for people. So again, just like if you're making 3 of the same kind and sharing these, with fellow players, you might want to do that with add-on store purchases, make deals, trade them, and stuff like that. That kind of covers the basics of the signs. What you can do with them is up to your imagination. Like I said, you could probably even do quests with them and set up a quest area, read the clues. We have the books already and stuff that people can use on them, if they know somebody with a magic printing press. But the signs, I think, are just going to be really a nice thing for POTs. Even people with vendors up, they can maybe say something specific with their vendor name message, and then, but also just the eye-catching of a symbol might draw customers for you. So again, super excited about signs. Happy hunting, everybody. Take care and be safe.